Hey drummers, it's Rob Litton here. Welcome to this free full song lesson as requested over on my Facebook page. I recently asked my followers what Christmas songs they wanted me to teach them and they got to vote in the comment section, then other people got to vote on those songs and the most popular songs got chosen for future lessons. This was one of them. I'm going to do another one next week, but today I want to show you how to play the song Last Christmas by Wham, programmed on the drums by George Michael. It's actually electronic drums, as we'll see in a second. And I've got all three pages of the PDF for you to download from my website for free. You'll find a link beneath this video. So have this stuff printed out in front of you as we go through this together. It's going to make things a lot easier for you to understand. And really, there's only a few different drum beats in this song. Like I say, George Michael was programming the drums on this, and I've written at the top here, the drums were programmed on a Linn drum machine. The hi-hats have been simplified in parts to make this song a lot easier. So it's really just like a 5-line loop that he just messes around with and starts in different orders, but there's only like a few different variations of the drum fills, the drum beats that occur throughout the song. And then once you've learned, I think it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we'll see in a second, about 10 different bars. You've got the whole song down pretty much. It's just ordering them, and that's what you want the chart for, so you can play all the parts in the right sections. But you'll see that after you've read it a few times, you'll see, oh, okay, there's that one line being repeated again, there's that next line being repeated again. It should become obvious to you. So in this lesson, I'm going to show you sort of the different variations of the drum beats, and then we'll sort of play it all together at the end. So I've also written there the hi-hats have been simplified in parts. There's a lot of open hi-hat stuff that occur at the end of each line where these drum fills are, which in some of the drum fills makes it impossible for one drummer to play, because you've got this hi-hat part being played with open hi-hat sections, and then you've got to come off the hi-hat to play these snare drum beats. So it wouldn't be possible for one drummer to play them anyway. So I figured they're not the most important part of the song, the end of each line with these extra hi-hat parts. So I've decided to leave those out to make things a lot simpler. But in middle sections of the lines, you'll see that I have included some open hi-hat stuff that I thought on its own with just the groove, it sounds cool and it's not too complicated to play. So first bar, we've got our basic groove that gets played through the song. We're playing bass drum on all 4 beats, snare drum on beats 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Simple as that. For any complete beginner, although the song's going to be sort of intermediate level, any beginner could play this song all the way through and have a go at some of the drum fills if they wanted to, left out all the open hi-hat stuff, and they could get through the song just playing that all the way through. That's our first bar though. Second bar on the first line, the second bar literally is our next variation. This occurs a few times in the song in the middle of the bar, where we get this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E ands. It's 4 E and with an open hi-hat at the end. So I included that hi-hat part because, like I say, it's in the middle of the line, it comes with the groove, there's no drum fill around it, so you can sort of include it and not have it mess you up too much, hopefully. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and 1 and 2 and 3 and. If you find that too hard to play up to speed, because your right hand isn't able to play that, you could play, I'm playing right, left, right, 4 E ands, so you could play. You won't get that first note on the hi-hat on beat 4, but no one's going to miss it because the snare drum's playing there. So you could get around it if you can't play one-handed by playing it as a double-handed single stroke roll thing, right, left, right. So the next variation occurs a few times. It's a really cool idea, this, where we have the snare and crash falling on beat 2 of the bar, and these usually follow the drum fills at the end of each line. So we get this third bar 1 and 2 and 3. Just get used to playing snare and crash on beat 2. 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 2 3 4. And that occurs a few times in the song. Then we get our first drum fill on the end of the first line. We have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Now this is a unique one, because usually after this drum fill it's followed by the next line, which is bar 1 of the second line, which is our next variation. And this usually occurs every time on the first bar of the next line preceding one of the drum fills. We get 1 and 2. Snare drum on beat 1 with the bass drum, because that's going to come out of the preceding drum fill on the line above it. 1 and, we get 3 bass drums in a row, 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and. Then the hi-hat continues after that. So for this example, it's good to loop these two round together, bar 4 and bar 1 of the 2 lines. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2. Missed out the bass drum almost. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and getting 1, 2, 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2. I love that with the preceding snare and crash on beat 2. Very cool. So I'm going to skip over some of these bars now because bars 2 and 3 we've already talked about on the line above. Bar 4 of the second line is our next variation bar, and it's a big old drum fill, one of my favourite in the songs. We get, with the bass drum still pumping on all 4 beats, we're just going to come down to the snare drum off the hi-hat for the last part of the bar. First part though, we get 1 and 2 E ands, 1 and 2 E ands, and then 3 and a 4 and 3 and a 4 and I'm playing 3 and a 4 and a. We're actually going to go up into the hi-hat again on the next line because we're going to do that snare and crash on beat 2 thing. So 1 and 2 E and 3, a 4 and a 1, 2. 1 and 2 E, 3, a 4 and a 1. Really cool the way it moves across the bar, those snare drum notes. So with these examples, it's good to make a little loop with the bar preceding it because you just play the drum fill round and round and round again on its own. You don't really give it context. So what I do is play bars 3 and 4 together, for example, as a little loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 E, 3, 4 and a 1, 2, 4, 1 and 2 E, 3, 4 and a bit slower and I'll put up to speed for you later. 4, 1 and 2 E, 3, 4 and a 1, 2. Okay, second line, or sorry, the third line, verse 1. Bar 2 is our next variation. We get this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and this drum fill always occurs in bar 2 of a line. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, simple as that. And 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. Skipping over bar 3, gone over that already. Bar 4 is our next variation. Weird one this because the bass drum is left out on beat 4. You could leave it, you could put it back in. No one's going to mind, but on the recording, George took out the bass drum on beat 4. So we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E ands. Sort of a little stop turnaround thing. 1, 2, 3 and 4 E and 1 into the next line where we just continue with the hi-hats. 1, 2, 3 and 4 E and 1, 2, 3 and 4 E ands. Again, let's create a little 2-bar loop. Let's play bar 4 and bar 1 of the next line. 1, 2, 3 and 4 E, 1, 2. Again. 2, 3 and 4 E, 1, 2, 3. And one more time. 1, 2, 3 and 4 E, 1. So, second line, the only other variation I got for is bar 2 where we get the and 4 again, but then sometimes he also includes the open hi-hat at the end of that bar. So we get 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1. No one will mind if you miss it out. It's not obvious on the recording, but it's there. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2 is the next line there. Bar, sorry. Then we get the most complicated drum fill of the song at the second line, bar 4. Similar to the end of line 2 of the intro. 1 and 2 E and, that's the difference there. We come down to the snare drum for beat 2, 2 E and, back up to the hi-hats. 1 and 2 E and 3. You're going to notice your right hand's just doing this. It's your left hand that's adding in the extra notes. 1 and 2 E and 3, 4 and then it comes out the same way as we had before. Except this time it goes into a crash on the next line. So be aware of sometimes you don't go into a crash, sometimes you do. I've included where they are. So 1 and 2 E and 3, 4 and a 1, 2, 3 again. 1 and 2 E and 3, 4 and a 1. 1 and 2 E, 3, 4 and a 1, 3. Line 3, bar 2, extra hi-hat notes being played. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and. So before we had just on beat 4, now we have 3 E and for this variation. Again, you could use the same trick as before. You could play, just come right, left, right, right, left, right. If you wanted to, sounds just as good. Then, end of that line, we get another variation. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1. That bar just happens to have a lot of open hi-hat stuff going on in the background. You may notice it. Really, it makes it way more complicated than necessary. So I just, no hi-hats in that bar, like the other drum fill bars. Very, very simple one, that. 3, 4, snare crash and bass, 4 and a 1 into another crash. So. Then, before I play this up to speed for you, we're going to skip right down to the first bar of verse 2, where we get our final one-off variation. This bar only occurs once. Well, we've played it before, similar, but it's what preceded it. This is a good example of where George suddenly changed the order. So you can see line 2 of the intro, we've got this bar, which I'm about to show you. So he skipped out one line and started again on the second line of the, well, there happens to be 6 bar loop. So again, from that point, you'll start to see it's looped again in the same order as always. But it comes out of this drum fill at the end of chorus 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. There's nothing different with that one. But it goes into 1 and 2. And you could play the hi-hat and snare drum on beat 1 if you wanted to, as I've written, or you could play. But it makes sense to play the hi-hat because the preceding drum fill, your hi-hat wasn't interrupted. And you could play the hi-hat on, by the way, with these examples, you could play the hi-hat on the end of one as well if you wanted to. Nothing's going to stop you. Either way, it's up to you. No one's going to miss those hi-hat notes. So one last time. And that's all our variations. So now what I'm going to play for you is the intro, verse 1, chorus 1, and that first line of verse 2. And within those 3 sections, we've got the entire song, all the drum variations, each line down. Here's that played up to speed without me yakking on over the top so you can hear just the drums. Here we go. So the rest of this lesson will be me just repeating a lot of what I've already told you, showing you the same examples again and again. So really, like I say, you really have got the song down now. Goes into verse 2 at the bottom of page 1. We've got chorus 2. By the way, the whole song is a chorus. The last Christmas, I've actually called the verse, and then the instrumental part I've called the chorus, but it could have been the other way around. It's hard to say with these kinds of songs where you've got the title of the song in the verse, what feels like a verse section. Anyway, so most of this song is chorus, which is great. Then we've got a long old verse 3, chorus 4. Then the last page, verse 4, I've called all six lines the verse, chorus 4 at the end, and then the very last line I've written here, note fade out. So that's where the song starts to fade out, and we get our last 6 bars I've included before the song completely finishes, and that's it. So it's just a case of reading through the chart and seeing whether you've got a crash cymbal on beat 1 of the next line, how it goes into the next drum fill, and that's pretty much it. So if you've got any questions about any of that, then feel free to email me, rob@drumstotheword.com. Don't forget to download the free PDF that came with this lesson. You'll find it on my website. There's a link beneath this video. And then while you're at the old website, you might want to consider signing up to become an online member. And what I currently offer for £97 is a full year's online access to every single full video song lesson I've ever recorded and transcribed. And that's over 550, almost 600 full song lessons, just like this lesson, where I teach you a famous and popular song from start to finish. You get the fully transcribed PDF drum chart with each lesson. And like I said, I've got almost 600 famous and popular songs up on the website already, including a few other Christmas songs if you're interested. And so thank you for signing up. I give you access to hundreds more little videos teaching you many, many famous drum beats, fills, and even drum solos. I give you 3 ebooks I've written over the years containing hundreds more famous drum beats, fills, and solos. And then over the year of your subscription, you also gain instant online access to all the new material that I've loaded for my members. And I record new lessons every week unless I'm ill or on holiday. So you've got lots of cool stuff to look forward to over the year of your subscription. But if you've got any questions about any of that, then feel free to email me, rob@drumstotheword.com. And until our next drum lesson together, toodle pip, see you very soon, and happy drumming to you.